Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin Timms with REI Network. How's it going? We're back, obviously, with another episode here. Super excited about it. Just before we get started, remember if you do like this, give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast if that's where you're listening. Feel free to share any of the videos as well. I want to get as many people watching these as I can, and that's kind of what drives me and keeps me going. So I appreciate that. What I want to talk about today is a question that I got last night on a coaching call, and I thought, you know what a great question. Which was basically what stands in the way of a success for a real estate investor. Okay, so what is the main thing that I see with coaching clients and the people that I work with? And I thought, you know what? I had to think about it for a second, and I'm going to tell you what I answered, and then I've thought more about it since then. And what my first initial answer was when I got asked this live was probably taking action, right? One of the biggest things in this business, the difference with the people that make it, do deals, consistently do deals, all comes down to taking massive action. And we talk about that, right? Everyone says it, every guru, every coach, everyone doing deals, just take massive action. And I kind of jumped on the bandwagon as well and kind of went with that answer because, again, that was the first thing that came to me. But then I thought, I think there's so much more to it than that, right? And which leads us into mindset because it's not like you don't, oh no, oh, someone just said take action. I'm just going to, okay, done. I'm going to take action now, and that's just solved everything. That one thing, right? You have to look at why and break down why you're not taking action. That's the key. The key is why, when you're being told to take massive action, when you're being told not to overthink and just do, right? But you're not doing it, all right? Which leads to the mindset. It's something in your mind. Remember, 80% of what we do, not just in real estate or in business, but in life, is mindset. Okay, the things that you achieve, the athletes at the top level, is down to mindset. How many people do you know on a sports level, or maybe actors or whatever, that you've seen that are so talented, but they never made it? Right, but you've seen them and they're fantastic. Being in golf, I've played with some of the best amateurs, the best professionals uh, in the world. When you're playing with them, like, this is ridiculous. How are you not on tour? How are you not doing these things? And it comes down to mindset, right? Self-belief. Do they believe themselves that they can take it to the next level? And do you believe in yourself, okay, to take it to that first deal, to take it to multiple deals a month, to be able to scale, to be able to do deals virtually, to be able to work in multiple markets from anywhere? Do you actually believe that you can do it? Because self-belief is where it needs to be. You can take all the hype and the noise, right, and the rah-rahs all you want, but it's what's going on in your mind to whether you're actually going to make it or not, right? And that's the thing that you need to work on. And this needs to be worked on a day-to-day basis, right? And it's going to take a long time to change this thought process. I'm not just saying that you're going to read one book, okay, and that's then going to change everything. Okay, you've watched one motivational video and now you're going to take over the world. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about day-to-day things, right, of focusing on this, right? Reading, if you're a reader, listening to audiobooks, okay? Doing 10 minutes a day on this every day consistently is going to change the habit. Remember, we've talked before about creating habits, and there's nothing different with the mindset, right? It begins with the mindset before you open the course, before you watch module 1, before you buy the next product that you think is going to be the answer. And the problem is, it's not the answer because your mindset isn't right to allow it to be the answer. All right, and this is probably the most common thing that I see the people that are successful and not successful in business is that their mindset. When they're telling me this is what's going to happen, this is what I'm going to achieve, and they 100% believe it, not just speaking the words, but internally their self-belief is saying, no, this is on. That's when I see the most success, because now they're just going to take that action, right? So it comes back to taking massive action, but they're in the right headspace to be able to take the action, right? And that is where you need to work on and get to. So you can go and buy your lease option course, your wholesale course, your virtual course, your sub twos, your owner finance. And if you're just scrambling for your first deal, don't think that course, they're all brilliant courses. They're all fantastic information, right? Some of the best is in the United States teaching this stuff. But if your mindset's not right, you still won't do a deal, okay? And that is really where you need to work on to be able to get your mind right, to be able to then listen and go take massive action. Don't overthink it. And a lot of it comes down to the jobs that you're already in. So when I work with a one-to-one client and I find out about them and I analyze them as people and what they've kind of been through, what they're going through, what do they do, it then makes sense that the type of person then that you're going to get, right? Is it a phone person? Is it they're going to overanalyze? An engineer that's going to overanalyze everything? Is it an accountant that can't get past the perfect offer, right? Is it the attorney that wants to look at the paperwork before he's even sent out a piece of marketing? Because what happens is that them traits that they've got right in their job and the due diligence that they have to do, they naturally bring it into real estate. And I think that's where you need to change. You need to say, you know what, I know this is how I do it, but I got to do it the way that the investors do it that make money. And I think they all come in a line with taking action, not overthinking it, right? But again, to get there, you have to have the right mindset. So that's what I want you to kind of start thinking about, you know, as you're listening, right? And then we can go as deep as you want with the why. When this gets tough, what's going to keep you going? What is your why? What is the core thing when this gets hard? This is real estate investing, right? This is not easy. This is one of the biggest, most profitable businesses in the world, all right? And you want to get amongst it, right? But are you willing to do the things that's going to get you the results, right? Are you willing to go into the trenches? We can talk systems all you want. There still needs an operator, right? So you still need to show up, right? And it starts with that. Show up, do your best, try your best, focus on today, focus on your activities that's going to get you the outcome. We did an episode on this, right? Stop thinking about doing a deal in 30 days. You have to do a deal in 30 days. Your mindset and your thought process is all about just doing a deal in 30 days, but you aren't focusing on the steps to get the deal. Does that make sense? You need to show up and go, what have I got to do today? These are things. By doing these things and these activities will lead, okay, to you actually doing a deal, right? Or doing several deals or scaling, right? Another episode we just talked about is scaling. You can't scale if you're in the trenches, right? To scale, you need to be working on the business, not in the business, to truly scale. Okay, so all these things, you need to have plans in place, but it comes down to taking massive action. Before we talk to scaling, we got to be doing deals consistently, one a week or one a month, one every 3 months to start with, or just doing your first deal, depending on where you're at. Okay, and then you need to get that consistency, but you're only going to take that by getting massive action, right? On the call yesterday as well, we had this exact problem. Someone wants to make their first lease option offer and they're stressed out about it. And can we look at the numbers? No problem. So we start engaging, okay, on this call. And what we found out is that we don't have any situation really to be making this offer, and it's not warranting our time that we are now discussing live on a coaching call that you've been thinking about today to make this offer, when we don't even know that the seller even wants to do a rent to own yet, because we've jumped the gun. In your head, you've created this scenario of, oh yeah, they'll want to do this, and if I can offer this and offer that, then we're going to be able to do this. And you've just created it. You didn't get that from the seller. In your head, you've created this, oh, perfect world, right? But it comes from the seller. So you need to retrain and go, when we get a lead in, we don't look at Zillow and start looking at comps. Boom, we're on the phone, we're having a conversation. Then, if the conversation develops in the way we want, then we will spend the time looking at the numbers, running the comps, right? How much time someone gives you and their motivation is then directly into how much time we do in terms of preparing the offer, right? So if someone says, yeah, not really interested, don't really care, don't care if it sits there for 3 years, not really bothered, no interest. I'm not going to go and run a numbers for an hour trying to get this perfect offer. I'm going to give it literally 1 minute to make this offer. I'm taking the zest, blah, 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 blah. Multiple offers, send it, done. Okay, because that's the time that it warrants. We're not in the right space to be getting this contract. We want to get something in front of them, then we're going to follow up, and that is kind of what we need to do. So when you're opening these courses, okay, you need to be watching module 1, then taking action on that. But again, if you're not mentally there, right, and people will look, people actually, and I see this, and I try not work with this type of person, but when we have these, before I work with anyone one-to-one, I don't want them coming in trying to prove to me that the concept doesn't work, trying to prove to me that they can't do this, trying to prove to me that it doesn't, that their market's too hard, because all they're trying to do is prove something that's not going to be successful for any of us, right? So again, wrong mindset. If someone else is doing it in your market, then you can do it. And that's the way I look at it. If they're doing it, you can do it. There's no excuses. It doesn't matter really where you are. The process stays the same. We talk about that a lot, right? You're marketing, the process kicks in, you're having conversations, making offers, and you keep following up until they say yes. And that's the process that you need to get into, right? But you've got to get in to doing them activities. If you're not having quality conversations, and if you're not making them offers, you are not making any money. So just buying another course, right, is not the answer. You have to analyze yourself. You have to be accountable and say, am I doing absolutely everything I can to get results? And if the answer is no, then you need to change it. It's not the course. A new course is not going to do that. You need to make them changes to be able to get the results. And that's what I found early, right? But that is my personality. I have self-belief. I'm not cocky. I'm not overconfident, okay? But in my head, I believe that I can do certain things. I believe that I can dominate a market. I believe that I can take a coaching client to their first deal or multiple deals or scaling. I believe that I can do that. I don't need to tell you that because it's in here. I don't need to hear it like, oh yeah, you're this and you're great and you can do these things. Obviously, they're nice, right? Surround yourself with the 5 closest people. You want positivity. You want good energy, right? You obviously want all them things, which is super important. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's what you believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, that is what's going to propel you to be successful, not just in real estate, in life, and that's what we're aiming towards. Okay, so just be thinking. I know we got a little passionate on this one, but I really want you to be thinking about that, reverting back to your why. The why should make your hairs stand up on your arms. You don't want to discuss the why because it's to the core of when you don't want to make them calls after a long day, okay, on the 9 till 5, the 9 till 8, whatever you're doing, but it needs to be done. Does that make sense? For you to be able to get where you're going. And that's what 2020, this year has been crazy, right? Something has happened that we're probably never going to see in our lifetime again, right? It is literally throwing the world upside down. But you've now got to get ready for 2021, right? It also gave us a ton of potential. It gave us a lot of potential for a lot of people working from home. All right, you can see the virtual lifestyle, being able to do things virtually, because in your mind now you can actually do things virtually because you've been forced to do it virtually. But now it's installed that I can do this, right? The pandemic is what it took for this to happen, but now you can't go into the house, or you couldn't before, so you have to have conversations on the phone. So it just installs, and I maybe got lucky. I got lucky that the model that I have, it didn't miss a beat in the pandemic, really, right? Obviously, closings were slower, we couldn't get buyers in, things like that. But in terms of the negotiation and doing that, that was fine because that's what we do anyway. We don't need to go to the house. So it actually made it a little easier for us talking to the sellers because they know we couldn't go in, right? So all these things, though, is going to be key for you to be successful, all right? So just work on your mindset, all right? Find your why. Go deep to it when it gets hard because it is going to get hard, right? Making sure you're focusing on the high generating activities. That's where the action needs to be, not taking action on a website. You should be doing deals without a website. All right, it's not necessary. Show me one seller, okay, that said, I want to see your website, I want to know all about you, and then they did sign a contract with you. I mean, it might happen, but very rarely, right? They're not motivated, them people. If someone's truly motivated to work with you, they haven't got time to learn all about you. They just need help solving their problem, and they're going to go, and that's what you're going to find. We just closed a deal last week in Florida. It came in, we locked it up within a couple of days, we closed within 3 weeks, $20,000 deal. Now, am I sitting here saying that every deal that I do, okay, is that? Absolutely not. 90% of the deals we do come from follow-up. That's what it is. Of course, we get the easy one, the home run, right? You're in the right place at the right time. But you have to be taking action to get there. And that's what I want you to do. So, yes, we talk about it. Yes, you get it. I got to take action. But are you in the headspace to be able to take it? Work on that first. Once you're there, you then will be able to come in, take the action to then propel you in this business. And make sure that you're going to show up for at least 6 months in this business, okay? 6 months, working every day, keeping it consistent, 5 sellers a day, 3 offers a day, okay, 5 days a week. Give me 6 months of that. And if you can show me them numbers, all right, and you haven't done a deal, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's not for you. I'll work with you one-to-one for free, whatever it may be, because I believe that you're going to get, you have to do deals. Never mind in 6 months, but within a couple of months, within 90 days, okay, you should be seeing this conveyor belt happen. This system starting to churn with the follow-up. Then you're going to be picking up new earlier leads plus then follow-up leads. That's how you're then going to start scaling the business, and then you can start looking at going into multiple markets. All right, anyway, I appreciate you guys. If you also want some free downloads, go to rinetwork.com/downloads. Check it out. If you're watching, drop a comment. If you think you agree, disagree, you have any questions, put them below. Give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.